Welcome back to another episode of Lego Star Wars the video game. In the last episode, we managed to do the entirety of replay of the Phantom Menace and managed to get the mini kits that we're missing. And in this episode, we're gonna do a free play in Attack of the Clones. Now, this episode is not gonna take us along a ton compared to episode one, since it only has 5 levels, but in reality, we only have to do 4 of them. So yeah, let's start with the first level being Discovered of Kamino. We only have so far we collected 6 of the 10 mini kits. So let's get to it. And as per tradition, we're gonna skip the crawl because it's not gonna well we'll drag out this thing for a ton. So let up this and do and proceed with how the game intended to initially. Now, of course, last episode I also bought the invincibility extra, meaning that the characters are gonna be immune to any attack, or sorry, the characters that I'm currently controlling as, because player two is also gonna get hit in the process because they're not currently being controlled by myself. So we do this, but it's not gonna matter anyway because we have invincibility. So as you can see, we did not take any damage from that. And just like that. So now we get to interact with this, and usually there's gonna be a cutscene in between, but since it's free play, then we don't have to worry about that. So we go over here and make our way for the next minicade, which I think we get 2 of them. So we use the plastic character to shoot that target and make ourselves there. But before we do that, we have to get over here and use these things to lift us up. Actually, I think what we need to do is that we use the character with a force that may be able to get this and to get a 7 mini kit. Now, of course, also blue studs over here that we can collect for purchasing any other things in particular. Now, I think I ended up making the mistake of unlocking something that maybe locked me from getting everything in the game. So if I remember correctly, it was this one that I have to. Okay, no, actually, alright, sorry about that. I just got IRL, so let's just keep moving. As you can see, I struggled a bit to get the 8th minikit, but we're going to proceed with the next part of the level. Now here, there's also a cutscene that usually triggers in story mode, but since we get closer to it, this is actually a chase sequence of Jango Fett, and these droids don't get to spawn from the entrance, which is nice, since we don't have to worry about that, and we just can defeat them right here and right now. Now, of course, I don't know why am I defeating them, since it's not gonna matter at all. But we do get a ton of stars from this, which is what we want. Of course, I think I'm probably not gonna get that. Yeah. So we do need to defeat all the enemies. So after all, we did really Did have to bother with that. So make our way over here, and I think there's also some of those explosions that we can interact with, so that we can get even more studs, or not, I guess. So now that we're here, we don't have to bother about these things exploding on us because we have invincibility. So this guy is not gonna be a threat for us, like that. And then our second player just ended up dying like a little idiot. So we're gonna make ourselves over here and use the grappling hook to get access to here and get ourselves our knife maker. Now here we have to be precise and hit all the targets for that thing to unlock them and to obtain it. So we hit the first target over here and then do that. Oh shit, okay. So we have to do this again because I ended up messing it up in the process. We have to do it a third time because apparently I just did it right before the platform started moving. Come on, dude. I suck at this game. So I had to do it a fourth time because I'm getting desperate at this. Like that. This will grant us access to the ninth minikit. The last minikit is gonna be on the room that with the infinite spawning droids. Now we get to access here, and player 2 is gonna do the same, but it's not gonna matter. So we both get over here, and then we just you open the door here that with the use of the dark side. Now, unfortunately, I think those droids are gonna be coming along the way here, so a bit of a shame. Come on, this guy does not want to bother with me. Okay, so we do that, and then all those droids are gonna spawn in, but we're not gonna bother with them, as our main priority is to go back to get stuck in this level. I'm sorry, on this part. What? That's interesting. So can I go back? Yes, I can. So I do need to get rid of the to shut down the hatches so that they don't keep spawning, because I know in Complete Saga you don't have to do that. Again, there are really weird decisions in that game. Where are these guys even going at? There, okay. Now hopefully we got to beat the level. I'm sorry, what? And we have another cutscene. Alright, so we're just gonna wait for this to start spawning in, and then we finally deal with Django. Now I think we don't have to use a lightsaber character. We can just see defeat him with a blaster character. Alright, so I think this is working. Yes, okay, it is depleting itself, so it's not that bad. Alright, so this guy is just running away from me. Come on, get the guy. There you go. That took way too long than expected. We're being tight on what we have to do in the extras. Alright, so we have then Droid Factory, which we need to only collect 2 mini-kits, which that we missed on the story mode. So we have to defeat the Geonosians that appear, since that will open the gate. Like that. Very easy. So we don't bother with this. We just straight up ignore it. The droid guys are also not gonna be a bother to us. Like that. And we get to ignore all the enemies that are coming along the way. I think we can just ignore this puzzle or not. Yeah, we can. And use R2. Alright, so here we need to combine colors. If you don't know primary colors, then this is gonna be hard for you. So orange, so that means red and yellow. You know, preschool. And we have to do this 3 times. So next is green, so that means yellow and blue. So we do this and then this as well. Like that. And then the last one is gonna be purple, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So it's red and you guessed it, blue, because it's we only use both of them once. Alright, so we're gonna wait for this to spawn in, and then we only have 1 mini-kit left, and that's on the and that's a bit further down the line. Not that far, to be honest. So this level can be done pretty easily, so we don't have to bother about a ton of stuff. So we can hop across over here and don't have to deal with anything. Get hit, but really not that big of a deal. Simply have invincibility enabled. Like that, we just skip across the top of the platforming that we initially had to do in story mode, so that saves us a ton of time. Like that, and then we spawn in this room. So we get to ignore its entirety because we don't have to bother about C-3PO having to get him across the map, because he's very slow and is not able to jump or hover just like R2 or anybody else. So, and then the last minikit would be located over here. Now we get to do this. So we're just gonna get hit by this Geonosian, so we're probably gonna drag them by with the force. And okay, there you go. So we do that, and then we just make our way to the and to beat the level, which is rescuing Obi-Wan. So we do this cold strat, unless we don't get it. Oh, okay, we did. And then we go along this path, use the force or not, because I guess like, oh wait, I almost died. Oh, okay. And here, because the droidicas were not ugly, were droids that Or any enemy does not aggro if we're actually droids, which is kind of funny if you think about it. So we just wait for this bomb to fully be deployed, and then we use a force character for that. So we're gonna ignore all the enemies that are coming on our way, as we only have to deal with rescuing Obi-Wan. Now I think I may be able to defeat all these enemies because I'm gonna be annoying to deal with. So let's just do that. And one of the droids decided to kill itself, which saves me a ton of trouble. Like that. Okay, we ended up defeating all the Geonosians. And that'll be the end of the level. So now we only get to do two more levels, and they aren't that very long in particular. So that's nice. I got Jedi Battle. We have 6 minikits out of the 10 we have collected. So the first thing we're gonna do over here is to get the remaining minikits that are gonna be scattered across the arena. Like for example, this one over here. So, but we're not gonna bother with that by now, and let's just go to make a detour to the left instead, like this. So the first thing that we want to do is to create a platform so that we assemble this, and I think there's not a correct order here. I could be wrong. Let's see. Like, I think it's like that. And then this is the final part of it. Let's see. Yeah, we do need to assemble it on the correct order. So, okay. How do we do this? I think we did it wrong. So I think it's this one first. Okay, I think I get it now. So it's depending on the color order of that we have to assemble it like that. That it appears. So okay, that was very easy. So we go make ourselves to the left here. This is not gonna hurt us in any capacity, so that's good. Use the force this, and then we switch to a small character, or sorry, a character that can access this hatchet because apparently Anakin is not that small in this game for some reason. And now we go back the way we came from, although I'm doing a full lap. And then we get to focus on what's on the level itself. So okay, there it is. There's 2 minikits over there, but we cannot but we can get it with Jar Jar. And just like that, we got every single minikit in the level. It's probably a very straightforward level in Complete Saga, since you don't have to bother with all the rest, really. And you know that's good, at least. So we have to uh, rescue Padme, and then we make ourselves over to the right, because that's where Anakin is. So we have to defeat this guy. It takes 3 hits to defeat. It's a bit annoying. Like that. And then we make ourselves to rescue Obi-Wan. Now, after we complete rescuing Obi-Wan, we're gonna switch to a blaster character uh, to deal with the two hordes of droids. So, like this, like there really is a ton of freaking droidic cast that we really have to worry about, and they take too long to kill as well. So we do that and then switch to a blaster character. Also, there's two Anakins on the screen right now, which is kind of funny. Alright, so we have to find our 6 targets. Alright, there's 3 of them on screen that I see right now. Alright, we just defeated one. Wasn't really paying attention. Okay, there's 5, and the last one should be. We'll eventually get to it. Alright, so it decides to dying off screen, which would be pretty nice. Of course, he could be right behind me, wouldn't he? Okay, I really do not see it. Okay, there it is. Then we have a second wing coming at us. Alright, there's a super battle droid. They're the easier to identify compared to the other droids. Sorry, the red droids that combine with the regular battle droids. Let's see. So far, we don't see any droids. Okay, there's a red droid. There's a super battle droid. We killed it with these. Let's see if we encounter another super battle droid, which is very easy to identify. No, we did not encounter with that. And Django is gonna appear at any time after we defeat this horde. I do not see the freaking red droid. Okay, I do see the super battle droid. However, I do not see where the last droid is. Oh, there it is. Okay, and then Django is gonna spawn in, and then second, okay, we just got teleported, and we just have to shoot at him until he is defeated. And we just have 5 more hearts remaining. Like that. He does have a couple of invincibility frames with him. And he just ended up launching a missile to us in our face. Alright, so we're missing one more level, and that's the Count Dooku one. And we only collected 3 minikits out of the 10, but this level is very short, so it's not gonna matter anyway. So, let's get to it. So the first thing we need to do is that I need to get over here with a blaster character and get ourselves a mini kit. Now, I just died in the process. Let's just switch to Jedi. Alright, let's switch to blaster character so that I can easily deal with them. There really isn't anything here in particular, so that's nice to know at least. So now we have to make a couple of platforming. We switch to Georgia because there are places that I inside Jordan can only reach. Now I think I may not be able. I think I'm not missing any of the minikit because the five of them may be on the final room. Actually, no, I have four. So this is actually the sixth minikit we're gonna get. So we do this and then this. So yeah, we're on track. So we do this and make our way down so that we get to fight Dooku. Now, since there's a screen over here, we just have this long transition that we have to go through. So yeah, there's a minikit over there. We have to use a hatchet for another minikit. There's a couple of stuff we have to do before we uh, fight against Dooku. So we do that and then switch to Anakin so that he can interact with this. Okay, young Anakin to be exact, because we also have episode 2 Anakin in this roster. Okay, that was very unnecessary to do. Okay. Alright, so there we also need to do that. I think if we get on a safe position, then he may not be able to get us. Okay, can this guy stop bothering us? There you go. So we build this so that we can get another mini kit from that, and then I think we need to use our to make it. Oh wait, no! I remember. We need to blow up that thing with a blaster character, like this. Yes, so that we maybe we use a character that can hover and get us just to the last mitigate. Okay, so now we get to focus on the main task, which is defeat Dooku. So now that we've done that, let's go over there. Okay, for some reason it did not want. So we have to throw stuff at him like we did. So while we're at it, there really isn't anything that we can do other than to constantly throw him, saying that since there is no Yoda cutscene, we get to keep that thing and beating the shit out of him. Alright, so the next thing is gonna pull that thing to us. So let's see, and then one more, until we get to be done with this fight. Like that. So it's very straightforward. Yeah, it really wasn't anything too stand out. That was very short in comparison to episode one. That I had those types of failures, but then again, not that they were that very huge. So anyway, in the next episode, we're gonna be that is gonna be it for this episode. In the next one, we're gonna be doing the replay on episode 3 and get the remaining mini kits from that. So yeah, I'll see you there. All right, take care.